My name is Harry Dean Stanton, and you're listening to Humbug Radio. That's canny, that is, though, but...
You've tuned in to the eponymous Phil and Woody show on Humbug Radio. I'm the eponymous Woody, and I'm joined, honoured to be in the company of the wonderful Phil Cornwall, a man with 1,000 voices, though sadly he only uses the one.
Yay!
Hey, how are we, Philip?
Little Woody! Oh, yes! Ah, that was great. He's here all week, ladies and gentlemen. Try the veal. Right, anyway. Yes. How are you? You're taller, aren't you?
Well, I've been stretched to my very, very limits, yeah. Like you are.
You're looking good on it.
Hey, thank you very much.
You're looking very, very good on it. Slightly out of proportion.
Don't let the old man in, that's what I say.
Tell you something else.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something else?
Yeah, go on.
That I'm a bit worried about coming back. This idea that you do it again.
Yeah.
I'm all right. I'm good. Because when I'll be like, nah, I'm good. Yeah.
What if you came back as something else, though? Do you want to come?
No, but that's worrying, isn't it?
Well, I don't know.
I'm worried about that. That's what worries me. The afterlife.
What are you
talking about?
What do you want to come back as, though? If you could come back as
if anything? I'd like to come back as a Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah.
Preferably.
Yeah.
A great big one. No, but I've got to... No, but it does genuinely frighten me, the idea of coming back. It's like, oh, what, really? You know, you're just settling into this nice little kip, you know, this big eternal kip. And you come back as something else or someone else, and you're back in all this again. What? You're in all this, the noise, the smells, the colours. I've done it, I've got it, I get it, it's good. Mind you, it is miraculous life, isn't it? Hello, Woody.
Hello,
What's all
Phil.
this about cheese?
Well, you and I go back a long time. We used to do the Saturday morning telly, didn't we? And I used to do this character.
We did.
I used to do a character that used to like cheese. And so one day this thing came up in the news that there was this 200-year-old cheese for sale at Sotheby's. And they sent me up in character. And I went up and I bid on the cheese. And this is my claim to fame. I own the world's most expensive bit of cheese. I bought it. It wasn't my money, to be fair. It was like because it was tight. It's like the size of a dice. And it's 200-year-old yak cheese from Tibet. I don't know why. It was in the auction because they were auctioning a load of stuff off. I genuinely own the world's most expensive bit of cheese.
Yeah, hang on.
Who would have thought it?
I like that. I'm getting some images coming through now.
Yeah.
It was a yak from Tibet that made that cheese.
Well, I think it was a bloke. The cheese maker would have made it, but the yak produced it 200 years ago.
Yeah, the yak would have done the first bit. You would have got the stuff out of the yak.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Are you talking about udders?
Yak
udders?
I don't know what a yak actually is.
But it must have udders. How do you get yak cheese? They've got to come
How
through
do you
some
get dog's cheese? Very
difficult.
difficult.
The dogs don't have udders.
You can get Chihuahua cheese.
I mean,
and if you don't believe me, look it up.
No, they probably do have udders, actually. Udder bits underneath udder.
I kid you not, there is such a thing as Chihuahua cheese. But it's not from the Chihuahua dog. It's from the town of Chihuahua, isn't it?
In Mexico. But listen, I am still genuinely interested in the yak cheese. First of all, the size of the bit you've got. It's not very big. Don't sound like a very big bit.
It's like a cube of
It's a
dice.
cube. Is it, right. And you haven't eaten any of it. I mean, of course, you're not going to do that, are you?
No, well, I'll give you a quick suck.
Did you smell it?
Yeah.
You what?
I sucked it.
Oh,
no, I didn't.
I need to go.
But no, the thing was, is the thing in those days, you wore your cheese.
You are at the limit.
You wore your cheese as a necklace. If you were out in the Himalayas, you couldn't walk around with half a pound of cheddar in your pocket. You'd wear it like a necklace. So you'd have these little cubes of hard cheese.
Is that really true?
It's true.
But the people
I don't know if it's actually true, but I thought it was true. It sounds plausible.
It does.
And then you'd pick a bit off and suck it. Sorry, I knocked my mic.
Oh no, I've done that a few times. That's good. It keeps it organic. People know it's real.
I was miming sucking a piece of hard 200-year-old
yak cheese from Tibet,
and I knocked the mic. I do apologise.
Wrong book, Valley, sir. Wrong book, Glacier. The wrong book, Monastery. The north face of Everest. It's underneath the towering edifice that is the north face. You know, which is the hardest route up Everest, basically. But I'd like to go to the Rongbuk Monastery. Will there be a man there with some yak cheese? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the eponymous Phil and Woody show, and we're just talking about things that really matter. So listen. Right. Now, Woody, I want to know about your phobias. Have you got any?
Well, as I've got older, I've started to become a little bit superstitious, and it becomes really, really irritating. I can't look at magpies without saying, "Hello, Mr. Magpie.
How's your family?
How's your kids? How's your wife? How's your kids?" The trouble is that actually, whilst a lot of wild birds are dying out, magpies are thriving.
Oh no, incredible!
So I cannot walk down the street without stopping every few minutes and going, and people look at me and wonder what the hell I'm doing. But if I don't do it, it really upsets me.
I know, isn't that funny? Those fears, those superstitions,
nothing else.
It's
at all.
obsessive compulsive behaviour.
Yeah.
And
is it?
We all suffer. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I think. Well, you could label it that.
Yeah.
But the thing about the pies, maggot pies, they used to call them, didn't they? That's a crow. You see, there's one of your corvidae family, isn't it? You see.
Oh,
that's one of your corvidae. What you got? You got your chuffs. You got your alpine chuff.
Yeah.
You got ravens, the king and queen of your crows. Yeah. You got your carrion crow. You got your hooded crow. You got your rook. Which is people go, there's a crow. Not a crow, it's a rook. He's got a grey beak. Do you know about rooks?
Does a bit.
Because you know about crows. You know about birds.
Don't make another superstition thing, I beg you.
Oh, sorry. Oh, you're not into crows.
What, with my feet?
I'm John Thor, and you're listening to the eponymous Phil and Woody show on Humbug Radio. Shut up!
I tell you what, it's nice to see you dressed up for the occasion.
Oh, no, I thought I would.
Yeah,
I thought I'd make an effort.
Not very often we see
in a suit,
baggy pants and a fright wig.
No.
Lovely.
No, not nowadays.
Fright wig.
Well, but I think you'll find I can carry it off.
What happened to a fright wig? Where did you get yours from?
Well...
if you want to frighten children, do we all know what a fright wig is? Do you remember Coco the Clown back in the day?
Oh yeah.
And he had he had an orange wig, and he could somehow make it go up.
Of course, it used to flap up and down.
Flap up like that dinosaur
Yeah.
in Jurassic Park when it gets into the car with the
with
the bad guy, and its frills go like that.
Oh, that's scary.
That's what I used to frighten the life out of me.
Oh God, that's Anyway, look.
Take it off.
I will take it off.
Now,
I'll just put it down there. Just saying it. There you go.
Yeah.
I've taken it off now.
Right. How have you been?
Well, how have I been? Well, I've been I've kind of been different, I've been in lots of, different sort of modes, and things come, things go, Oh, sorry. Anyway, were you weren't fishing for some sort of anecdote, were you?
Well, I was sort of teeing you up for something.
Oh, teeing me up? No, for a story you've never heard before.
No, I don't know what you're going to say. So I just thought I'd ask you how you were.
Oh, mate, that story of in the service station in. Down it somewhere, was it near Plymouth? I think it might have been getting down that way. We were driving down to, I'm going to tell you what we were driving down to, me and my mate, the Colonel, God rest his soul, who's now departed. My mate Paul, actually, called him the Colonel, and that's a by the by. He used to come with me to gigs and stuff like that years ago. And we went down, we're doing the Steve Wright, was it Steve Wright show? Steve Wright, God rest his soul too. Yeah. God bless Steve. Radio 1 Roadshow, you remember them? Down in Falmouth.
Steve.
Yes, that's right. And I went down all the way down to Falmouth to sort of be on it, and all these mad crowd and everything. Anyway, we stopped at the service station. It was nuts. I don't think we'd slept the night before. I'm not sure. We just drove straight down to Falmouth, and we're in the toilet there, and there's a nice little soap dish and a nice bar of soap there, and there's another bloke standing there next to me, and he's having a wash and all that stuff, and I've gone up next to him in the basin next to him, picked up the soap, washed my hands and all that, and put the soap back in the soap dish. And my mate, the Colonel, just started absolutely pissing himself laughing, because it was this lorry driver. It was his soap in his dish. He had a soap dish. He had a soap dish.
Because I was
like, it's one of them.
Soap dish in
no,
a service
no.
dish.
And I didn't ask him or anything. Can I borrow your soap, please? I didn't. I thought it was public soap, mate. And I picked up. And the Colonel could not stop laughing, and neither could I. When he told me what I'd done, And I think the bloke just looked at me like totally askance. How can you do that? You've just picked up. Yeah. Anyway, it's not amazing, but it's very funny. Those little things in life are just they are funny. There's a poignancy about all that.
Yeah.
In a way. God, what's happened to your legs?
Oh, that's a completely different. And the smell.
You're listening to Humbug Radio.
Fanny Craddock. You couldn't invent it, could you?
Yeah.
It was like a what? No, that's not a... Don't do that. Goodness me, thank goodness this isn't television.
Sorry. Mate, I can't help. I literally can't help it. I literally can't.
I've got, her husband, Johnny.
Johnny.
I've got one of his books.
Johnny Craddock. Have you?
Yeah,
you,
to make
you
your donuts look
borrowed
like,
it.
Go on, tread all over me punchline. Yeah. I've got one of it. Hey, I've got one of. You did, yeah. And you know it's coming. And you know this. Yeah, no. Everybody knows this one.
Sorry.
Right. Start again. Fanny Craddock, eh? What about that?
Fanny
Where did she? What? That's a thing, wasn't it? And her husband Johnny Craddock. I've got one of his books. How to make your donuts look like fannies.
My name is Emily Pankhurst, and I have done a lot for the emancipation of women. Not many people know that.
Dive into vinyl heaven at Flashback Records, your go-to destination for rare collectible vinyl, featuring many of those sought-after first pressings and hard-to-find early releases. You can sell us your own vinyl records or your old CDs and DVDs, or you can browse the very latest contemporary vinyl. Explore our online store now at flashback.co.uk. Flashback Records, recycling music since 1997.
Right, I'll tell you something that annoys me.
Yes. What is it, mate? What?
It's people who work in advertising. I'm convinced they are sitting there thinking, kind of doing like a kind of one-upmanship. What can we talk the general public into buying now? And they'll just go, they're buying the old rubbish. No, they won't. Yes, they will. They'll buy anything. Honestly, if you could get them to eat out of a bucket, they'd do it. And then they do. KFC do a bucket.
They do.
A bargain bucket.
But it's gaily coloured, though.
Why would you want to eat out of a bucket? Who thought that up? Well, it must have been a
hang
joke.
on. I know. I get.
It must have been.
I get where you're coming from there.
To eat out. It was like two advertising guys, and one went, "I dare you to get people to eat out of a bucket. You can't do it.
Right.
I'll put 10 on
All right.
it."
You watch.
Yeah.
And
he did it.
But I got to say, it is a bucket, but, they've done something with it, to their credit. You got a picture of that nice little old gentleman, with the beard and that, who they call Colonel Sanders, and it's red and white. It's got nice colours. So it's not a bad old bucket.
Well, if you try putting water in it. You go down to the well.
It's not going to take water, is it?
No.
It's a stupid idea.
No, is it? It's a stupid thing, and I've had enough of it.
So technically, you're saying it's not a bucket, really, is it?
It's not a bucket,
so
and
really
I don't want to eat out of a bucket.
Well, make sure you don't.
Oh, Phil, I've done it again.
Oh no, what have you done?
Well, there's something that really does get on my nerves. It is she toilets. She lavatories.
When you say that?
I was told not to say toilet in public. She lavatories. You know, where it's a little bit overly fancy.
Oh, yeah.
So
okay.
my son had his graduation at Brighton Pavilion.
Oh, yeah.
In Brighton.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you'd all sort of hanging around outside waiting for it to start, and all the mums and dads all proud, all having a drink. And then the bell goes, and then someone says, it's like 2 minutes to go. So everybody rushes into the toilets because it's going to be a long ceremony and all that kind of stuff. So I went into the toilet, and it's very, very she, the gents' toilet in Brighton Pavilion. And so, you get different types of urinal, don't you? You get a urinal. Then you get the sort of lower trough on the floor, the old school.
The lower trough, yeah.
And then sometimes you get that sort of mid trough.
Yeah.
Which is at the sort of the right height.
Yeah. Yeah.
That. So in this it had a variety there. It had like a sort of trough. Then there was the mid trough.
Mid trough, yes.
And then further down there was the another trough. Okay, but it was absolutely rammed, and I was waiting for it. So it's like a picture a wall of backs, like it is at football. Just a wall of men's backs.
Oh, you've gone in there and it's packed.
I've gone in,
it's
I'm
packed.
yeah, and I'm waiting to get onto
Yeah,
into the
because
theatre.
you're going to see your son, yeah.
Yeah, and so a little space comes available in the mid-trough. Okay,
Oh,
so
right, okay, mate. Yeah.
so I nip in, doing my business, as it were, and I thought, this water in this froth, this water in this trough,
Yes.
is very, very frothy.
Oh, that's why he said froth there.
Froth, yeah, because I was thinking that I'm picturing it, the froth. So I'm having a wee, and I look round, and this is so embarrassing. I can't tell you.
No, come on. No.
It was the sink.
No, oh, come on.
It was a fancy she sink. And I'm
hang on.
in the sink.
Oh, hold up. Hang on a minute.
What do you do? I was halfway through.
Oh, what was it?
When I realised, and I thought, shall I carry on and brave it through?
Are you serious?
Serious?
You're not making it up for comic effect.
I'm not making it up.
I don't think you are you?
I'm going
Hang on, how
red,
did you make that? Well,
thinking about it.
that's quite an error of judgment, but
Well, the
I
man
get it.
standing next to me. Oh my God! He gave
You're
me a
kidding me.
filthy. He gave me a filthy look.
Hang on, with the wait, with the taps on this.
No, it was like some sort of funny tap, and I just thought it was just sort of just
okay.
constantly
Okay,
flushing.
mate.
'cause
Yes,
there was so
sure.
many
No,
people
fair
there.
enough.
Oh, the
Now,
shame.
Hey,
What?
Woody.
What?
Do you know you can listen to Humbug Radio, right? This is what we're on.
We're on Humbug
now,
Radio right now.
What you can listen to on the app.
Oh,
There's an app, right? You can get an app, so you can hear it you can hear it when you're in your motor.
Yeah.
And
on your
all
phone.
over on your phone,
Yeah.
and all that sort
On
of
your
stuff.
laptop.
And
Or your app top.
and that, you know about Alexa, don't you? All you got to say is like, play Humbug Radio, Alexa. Up it comes. Isn't it amazing that you can do that sort of thing nowadays?
Well, so what you're basically saying.
What am I saying? Yeah.
You're saying that wherever you are,
Yes.
we're going to be there.
We're going to be... Well, yeah, you could put it like that,
Can't
but that was
get
very...
away from us.
Yeah, but it's a bit sinister, I thought. I was a
Well,
little
I
bit
meant
too
it.
sinister.
I
Well, I
meant
know
it
you
like
did.
that,
That's what
yeah.
worries me. No, I knew that. I knew you meant it. That's why I'm going.
You're listening to Humbug Radio and the eponymous Phil and Woody show, and you'll never guess what. The Tottenham Hotspur manager himself, Ange Postecoglou, has come to join us. Ange, how's it going? You must be so pleased with the way things are going at the moment.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say in the
And
first
what do
half
you-
I thought Dom Solanke he had quite a few entrances into the forward 50 and took quite a lot of good marks, but his set shots were not. Oh, hang on a minute, that's Aussie rules. Sorry, I forgot about that. I love Carlton. I'm a Carlton fan. Spurs. What's the use? They've all tried. Mourinho. No. Espirito. Santo. And I think it's fair to say, Jose Mourinho. And what can you do with Spurs, mate? Hopeless.
Radio is a powerful selling medium, a playground for the imagination where every jingle and slogan can find its way into the hearts and minds of its listeners. And advertising on Humbug Radio is a lot more cost-effective than you might think. We can help your business to shine bright without dimming your budget. To learn more, email us studio@humbugradio.com.
I went to the doctors
Oh,
the other day because I've been having a bit of trouble with my ankle, and and he was fiddling about with it. He's fiddling about the ankle, and he said, what's wrong with your foot? And I said, well, I've got a bad ankle, but it started off when I'm standing up, or when I'm sitting down, it feels like my sock's gone to sleep. And he looked, and he I could see blank face. He didn't know what I was talking about, and I didn't think anything at the time. But it obviously troubled me because I went into work and said, the phrase "my sock's gone to sleep," does that mean anything to you? And literally nobody. No, do you know what it is?
No.
My sock's gone to sleep.
No.
I'm starting to think that my mum made that up. What it means is my sock has slid. You know, the elastic's gone at the top. You know when you're
Oh,
and
okay,
it
now I can
slides down.
understand
It slides
that.
down your shoe.
Yes.
My sock's gone to sleep. It's a lovely phrase,
It
but I
is.
think
It actually is,
I
yeah.
think I've been using it for years. So people must think the man's an idiot. His
No,
sock's gone to
I've
sleep.
not heard that
No.
one. I have to be honest.
If anybody's listening and they've heard the phrase "your socks have gone to sleep," please let us know, because otherwise I feel such a fool. You're listening to Humbug Radio in the eponymous Phil and Woody show. Phil,
You're listening.
I am
Says
listening.
very Roger Moore there.
You're listening to.
Right.
He
go
was a
on.
lovely bloke.
So-
I worked with Roger Moore. I don't know. I
Yes.
started going at Michael Caine then. I did. I actually hit Roger. I've got a tape somewhere of me and Roger Moore doing Michael Caine impressions. But anyway, that's
great.
Not,
I like it.
That's not what I wanted to talk about.
like it.
I wanted to say to you, last night I was watching one of the repeats of Dad's Army.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's always interesting.
Well, do you know they made 80 episodes of that? It's a bit,
80, that many?
80. Yeah, because it's still repeated
I
now,
would
isn't it?
never would have guessed that.
I don't
actually.
think
I
that's-
wouldn't have said 80. Yeah.
Well, it's not been off the telly ever, is it? I don't know.
It's
still
on a loop. It's on a loop.
It's on a
isn't
loop.
it?
And do you know why that's so timeless? Well, this is my opinion. I think that's timeless because of the perfect casting. Now, one of the things about comedy shows,
Yes.
as we both know, you've got to get it right.
Yeah.
And it's all about the writing has to be good, but the casting has to be better. Now, I wanted to ask you, and I'm going to give you a list in a minute. Who is the best cast comedy character historically in British television? And now here's your list. And you can join in at home if you want to. And I want the top two. Basil Fawlty, Captain Mannering, Albert Steptoe, if you remember him
yeah,
out
of
there
course,
in the
yeah.
audience, Alan Partridge, Norman Stanley Fletcher, still repeated today, Rigsby off Rising Damp, Hyacinth Bouquet, Frank Spencer, Betty, Vicar of Dibley, Rick from The Young Ones, Margot Ledbetter, or David Brent. Now, between the two of us, I want to come up with the top two.
I've got another one that's been
go on.
missed out there.
Yeah.
Rowan Atkinson's Blackadder.
Blackadder, perfect.
You know,
Yeah.
we could lengthen
Perfect.
this. No, it is, isn't it?
Perfect
Of course,
casting.
Mr. Bean too, I think. But Blackadder was very funny.
Yeah,
Mr.
I think
Bean
Blackadder was a bit. I mean, I know Mr. Bean was universally loved,
incredible.
but
Incredible.
I still
really,
think
how popular-
Blackadder's better and it's cleverer.
Yes. Anyway, so there's another couple.
Yeah.
Out of those, right, mate.
Yeah.
Basil, of course, is got to be right up there. Basil,
Yeah.
Basil Fawlty, just how perfect that was.
Believable.
We're talking about the character here, not necessarily.
Yeah.
It was beautifully written. Of
Well, the
course it was.
casting.
But the casting
Yeah.
in that character for him,
Nobody
playing
else
Fawlty-
could have done.
No,
Nobody.
No, and Del Boy, of course.
Del Boy, I didn't put him in. Yeah.
No, but mate, you could put loads of people in, couldn't you? But
Well,
Basil
I don't know if you
Fawlty
can.
had-
I don't know if you can. There's the list that we've got now are probably the
Partridge as
top,
well,
the top of the crop, aren't they?
They are.
And
I mean, they're standouts. There's
Yeah.
no question about that. And there's not one I disagree with there.
But what's your top?
actually.
What's your top one?
Oh, it's Basil.
Is it
Basil top, but followed by Partridge.
really? Now mine is Basil as well. That's my top one. I don't think there's ever been bettered, and I will go Captain Mannering.
Yeah.
Because when they cast
Yeah.
Dad's Army, did
Yeah.
you know, or they say,
Yeah.
that originally John Le Mesurier was going to play Captain Mannering and Arthur Lowe was going to play Wilson. And they swapped it at the last minute. And luckily they did, because I think that casting is what's keeping it on the telly
Master
today.
Do you think so? Yes, because it's, 50 years, isn't it? Plus? Old?
Yeah.
50?
Yeah.
Plus? But it still stands up, you think? The quality of it? What's the appeal of it?
I mean, it's
what's
got-
the
they've got-
appeal at its heart? What is it? The great character
Ooh,
actors.
It's the
You know,
character, the
why
believability.
is it still on, you know?
But
I
the
mean, it's
believability of the characters.
Yes,
isn't
it must
the
be.
believability.
It must be. I mean-
that play, they used to be better at it in those days, I've got to say. Sorry, young people, if you're listening, but it's true that they could play pathos and comedy at the same time.
Yeah,
which was very clever.
No,
Very,
yeah,
very
that's
clever.
right. Yeah, the best ones. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Well, let's go with Basil Fawlty at the top, at number one, and at number two, You're going to go with
I'm going to go with Partridge, but it's subjective for
and
me,
I'll go
and
with
I'm a
Captain
bit
Mannering.
biased,
So there you go.
obviously.
There you go, listeners. If you think different, let us know. Get in contact with us at studio@humbugradio.com if you want to write in. Don't complain.
Yeah, Woody, have you been up the football recently?
Well, I don't get up there as much as
You
I
don't get up the
used
football
to.
now?
No, I used to. I had my own little seat up there.
Are you talking about Highbury?
I do go back to Highbury.
No.
days.
When at Highbury Stadium, when
Yeah,
you
Highbury, that's
played
right.
there,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
did you sit?
Well, at Highbury, I'm mostly
Yeah.
in the family enclosure, but up at the Emirates, I was up the North Bank with all the
Yeah,
other
I'm a
women
bit
mates.
funny about because is it the North? It's not really because it's in the round, isn't it?
Well, we have a clock end.
Yeah, I know, but it's not really the clock end, is it? And then they just got to
Well,
take
it's an
that
end. You've
clock.
got to give
and
it,
they-
call it something, haven't you?
Is it an end? But it's a circular. It keeps going. But anyway, there used to be a rubbish dump on that
That's
site
right,
called
I used to go
Ashburton,
to
Ashburton Grove.
yeah.
And of course they built a stadium on there.
Right, there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, no, it just sounds like I'm having a go.
No.
But I'm not. It sounds like I'm having a go, am I? I wouldn't have a
Brownfield
go.
site.
Yeah. Yeah. Woolwich. That's the thing. You moved up from there in 1919. No, you didn't. 1913.
I didn't.
And you didn't. But your football team, they were called Woolwich Arsenal.
Yeah.
And they bribed their way up into the top flight, and they've never been down since. And they never actually got promoted properly. But we
'cause
won't
you
go
did-
into that.
Just because Spurs didn't get the London Stadium.
I'd have loved that.
Of course, the other thing that you're on quite a lot is Alan Partridge, isn't it? What's your name, Dave?
Dave Clifton.
Dave Clifton.
Now, go on.
Go on. No,
I was going to say, see that's an amazing little gig. That one, in a way.
We've been doing that for 20 years.
Plus.
Yeah.
The first series was 97. It was I'm Alan Partridge. The first after Knowing Me, Knowing You. It was I'm Alan Partridge, which was set in a motel, and that was my first series that I did with him, doing the sort of handovers. And the gig was, I went in and saw Steve. I knew Steve anyway from like a few years earlier when he was really sort of just starting out. And he came to see me. No, he didn't come to see me, but he was in the audience for this series called Don't Quote Me. It was with Geoffrey Perkins as the host, and it was a sort of higher brow sort of Channel 4 game quiz show type thing. Steve was there with his long hair and all that at the bar afterwards. I remember him sort of coming up to me, so we'll go for a drink sometime. And I always remember that. It was so sweet. And
Was he doing his James Stewart impression then?
yeah.
James Stewart.
Oh, listen, I'm telling you, what he just did there. What he just.
Those pedals. We can get on a plane and we can fly from here. We can go.
Yeah, now wait a minute here. Say, now, wait a minute.
Yeah. Anyway, so Steve Coogan, we've digressed. Steve Coogan came up to you.
What he did there, you can't coach it. What Woody did there, you can't. You wouldn't want to, and you can't. No, Steve. No, I went to the years later. No, and of course he started to become really successful. We performed together on stage in 1993 in a Amnesty International benefit, and we both did impressions, and we were on stage together doing the Mick Jagger brothers and Harold Steptoe and Albert Steptoe. Me and him doing that, which was weird, which was odd, and we had to introduce Spinal Tap, which was fun. Like, here they are, yeah, Spinal Tap, what are they called again? All that, and that's an odd little bit of telly. That me and Coogan.
So you used to be Rob Brydon before.
Yeah,
Rob
I
Brydon
suppose I was in
Yeah,
that way. That was
yeah.
funny, and then he got me in for Partridge to interview for that. To do Dave Clifton, and they said, well, because I just did a sort of Tony Blackburn thing like that, because Tony Blackburn, and I do all that, and they liked it, and it fit the character really. That desperate sort of emptiness, which is covered up by this kind of bonhomie. Okay, so it worked. So I did it for years, and. Even did the film as well.
And now you're here.
And now
Humbug Radio.
Yeah, things haven't been going too well, mate, as I imagine. But it's quite good to get your gear out, isn't it, Woody?
Yeah, I am, and I'm going to put one on. Oh, Phil, I'm sorry to say that it's like all good things.
You might be sorry.
It's come to an end.
I'm happy.
We're out of time. Have you said everything you need to say?
No, but
well, I'll tell you
that
what.
can come later.
Yeah, we'll do it all again another time.
Yeah, we will, and I'll look forward.
Say bye-bye then.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. You've been listening to the eponymous Phil and Woody Show on Humbug Radio. It was a Bleach production.
Humbug Radio.